Hi, I'm Dave from Big Talker.
And I'm Russ. I'm a leadership coach and management trainer.
And I started Big Talker to be a resource for companies for soft skill training. So the idea is to bring in workshop leaders at seminars and on-site training to address core skill building around communication in teams. As I went out to talk to clients and learn more about what kind of organizational problems they were trying to address, I started to see themes. And the themes are lack of respect, or competitive teams, or people aren't feeling engaged because there's personality conflict, or even just simple things like trust building and communication skills. So I came to Russ and said, look, I think what's needed is this core Teamwork 101 workshop where we're starting to address these core issues.
When you mentioned that to me, that message resonated very strongly with my own experience of years of working with managers, leaders, high-value employees on the very same issues that they experience as problems at work. And so what we ended up doing was sitting down and figuring out how the training that I've been doing for over 15 years can be distilled down to a very short module that we now want to be able to offer you that's also grounded in the research findings lately around soft skills, which Dave, you could probably talk about.
Yeah, so we looked at the research and it's pretty clear. A lot of teams are struggling from dysfunction. I think 75% of teams report that they're dysfunctional. We see that 90% of upward mobility in your career comes from emotional intelligence instead of IQ, whereas there's such a focus on hard skills that it's getting lost in the mix. And we also see that recruiters specifically look for leadership skills and for communication skills when they're hiring. So we know it's critical, and we think these three things are really going to address core leadership and teamwork skills that everyone needs to learn. We're going to start with the three components. So there's probably 17 important leadership skills Russ could teach you throughout your career. We're going to start with the three basic ones as building blocks.
The three we've come up with are, firstly, a skill around building your professional presence at work and how you manage your energy at work, because that matters a great deal in how you come across to others. So how you manage your physical energy, your mental, emotional, and spiritual energy, how you transition your focus from one person or task to another in a way that allows you to have more energy at the end of the day rather than feeling depleted and drained. The second one is then looking at how you go about managing emotions, your own and that of others, in situations where emotions can tend to get in the way of productivity. And so we'll be covering a very specific skill that can help you diffuse emotionally charged situations literally in 3 minutes or less. And then finally, we're going to look at a skill around communication styles. Because quite often when disconnects happen at work, it's not due to the content being discussed, but quite often the way in which the content is being communicated. And when you understand the different styles that exist and what your style is and what that is of your critical business relationships, you'll then learn how to adapt your own style to more effectively convey your message.
So we're super excited about this workshop. The format is 2 hours with lots of interactive exercises, because just like riding a bicycle, you have to practice in order to learn soft skills. You can't just research it. You have to actually practice and get feedback, both from your peers and from coaches. So lots of interactive exercises, as well as frameworks and tools you leave the workshop with so that you can practice every day in the workplace. These
are skills that you don't get taught at school, you don't get taught at university, and yet they're so critical in the workplace. And unfortunately, most employers out there don't see it as their responsibility to train their people up on soft skills. So consider this an opportunity to really get some good grounding on an area that's becoming increasingly more important in the workplace.